I lost control and as a result lost my boyfriend and my best friend. I have been friends with my best friend, Sarah, for more than a decade. Me and boyfriend have been together around a year. We're all early 20s. Me and Sarah went out for drinks after work, and my boyfriend asked me to pick him up from his work as he was working late, and also doesn't have a car. I agreed. Sarah and I drank and I made sure to not get intoxicated since again, I was going to be the driver. Sarah got incredibly drunk. We had a really good time, and then it came time to go pick boyfriend up. We hop in the car, and I ask Sarah to sit in the backseat, since I feel like that's what most people do, right? Driver's partner is usually in the front seat. Sarah said no, and began arguing with me about it. I kept arguing back, and then she walked away from my car and went up to a random group of men on the street and started complaining to them about me. I was mortified, and terrified for her, and also incredibly pissed off that she would do something so stupid. The men brought her back to me and told her to sit in the back, but she pushed him away as he was getting her into the car and in the front seat. I was seeing red at this point, not because of the whole front seat backseat thing, but because I felt incredibly disrespected. She kept getting in my face arguing about the whole situation and I screamed at her. Side note, I believe I have to admit that I struggle with some severe anger issues and am diagnosed with BPD. The car ride to BF's work was dangerous, because I was taking my anger out on the road, and because I felt very stressed out by her continuing to argue with me. I shouldn't have done that, of course, and I regret it. I pick up my boyfriend and we're en route home, but he can feel the tension in the car as clear as day. Then halfway through Sarah pulls out a blunt, illegal where I live, and asks me for a lighter. I told her not to smoke in the car as I live with my mum and she has a very sensitive nose. BF is also not okay with weed. She again starts arguing with me and getting in my face and I could feel my blood pressure rising and I lost it. I screamed at her to shut the fuck up. I brought up some things I knew would hurt her, and I started driving crazy again. BF started arguing with her too, and asked me to drop him off somewhere because he didn't feel safe. I was too busy trying to calm myself down and I ignored his request. I drop Sarah off, then go to drop boyfriend off and he gets mad at me, kept telling me I was drunk and wouldn't believe me when I told him otherwise. When I dropped him off he told me to never pick him up again. I have spent my entire life and my entire relationship trying so hard to hide this part of myself, because I know that nobody will want to be around me if they know. Now I feel like I have lost both of them, and they are all I have. What the hell do I do? Too long did not read. I got incredibly pissed off at my friend while my boyfriend was on the car with us and now they both might hate me. You can fix it. But also drinking and driving is not all right. I made sure to not get intoxicated, just sounds bad. You knew you had to drive, you could have waited. You need to stop drinking and driving. Stop driving dangerously out of anger. Seek help with anger management. Not make a big deal out of where someone sits in a car. Apologize. Accept that your friend and boyfriend have the right to decide they don't want you in their lives. Learn from this. The fact you were arguing with your friend on where to sit tells me you were buzzed or drunk. I feel bad for your boyfriend. He is the innocent party in this mess. Also, if you have anger issues, get some help. I can't blame your boyfriend for never wanting to get in the car with you again. Are you serious, RN? You are lucky that you didn't kill both of them while you were driving partially drunk and recklessly. You don't deserve those people as your friends, because real friends don't put friends' lives in extreme danger. You are going to kill someone if you continue to act like a child when situations don't work out the way you intended. Grow up. Stop making excuses and take ownership for your pathetic behavior. Sound like you don't need no relationship but a long and deep therapy because you drunk driver and have clearly mental issues you can't deal with anymore. Tipsy driving is drunk driving. You were drunk driving. And BPD can be worked through in therapy. Good for your boyfriend for respecting himself enough to remove you from his life. Time for personal responsibility and a new friend. First, the friend is not your friend. A friend doesn't get to behave however they want. That includes you. By trying to argue with you as a driver, your friend put you in danger. By driving reckless, you put your friend and boyfriend in danger. Second, you need to apologize to your boyfriend. He may or may not forgive you, but that's something you just needs to accept. Third, you know you have a problem. You need to deal with it. That does not mean you have to accept mistreatment, but you need to own up and deal with how you react. How you do that is up to you. What works is different to everyone. Go to therapy, study psychology, anger management classes, yoga is just a few options. Everyone but your boyfriend is at fault. IDKY what seat anybody sits in is important. First guest in the car gets front seat for me. My significant other is mature enough to be able to sit in the back seat. That whole argument makes y'all sound 16. My girlfriend confessed to making an adult film. I hope this is the right place to post. Please let me know if it isn't. I am 31 male and my girlfriend is 28 female. We have been together for about 2 years. We have been exclusive for 1.5 years. The first 6 months we were just friends with benefits, but after 3 months of that we both admitted to not seeing anyone else, and then 3 months later we made our relationship official. Nearly a week ago she said she had something to tell me. We sat down and she showed me a contract. Apparently she was in 3 adult films. The catch is, it happened after we made things official. The contract was only for 3 films and she also showed me an email where the people asked her to make more but she said no. I was completely speechless. I had a million questions I wanted to ask but I just couldn't seem to speak. The longer I went on without saying anything the more she started rambling. She kept trying to show me more of the documents saying it might make me feel better but I just couldn't handle it and I left without saying a word. She has been sending me messages and voicemails and emails every day, almost every hour. She keeps saying she can explain and that there are some things I don't know that might help. I guess I'm writing this because I need to get it off of my chest and I'm too embarrassed to talk to anyone I know about it. I feel like I'm wavering and I'm about to agree to talk with her again. I did ask her to send me whatever this new information is but she says she will only tell me in person. I just don't know what to do. I do feel a bit better writing this. It happened after we made things official, that settles everything and makes this all crystal clear. Hard pass on a relationship that starts out with a partner screwing other people secretly. On film is just adding insult to injury, because now you can watch her do it, over and over again. Wait, she made adult films while she was dating you and while you two were allegedly exclusive? How is this not cheating? Her getting paid for it doesn't make it any less cheating in my mind. This is a huge deal. If she needed money or wanted to do this, that's fine, but JFC, talk to you about it first. I don't think I could ever trust her again. It's one thing to handle a partner cheating and work on that and learn to forgive and trust them again. It's another where they cheated and got paid doing so, and got filmed banging other people. And it's forever documented and floating out on Pornhub somewhere. If you can't begin to handle the first scenario, don't bother trying to handle the second. Cut loose and leave her. She has video evidence of her cheating on you. For all to see. Know your self-worth, dude. Clearly she did not respect you back then or now. You realize she didn't just start doing this at the beginning of your relationship? Please acknowledge this in your brain. It's not like she was an IT consultant, a doctor, a teacher before she met you and said, "Oh, since I started dating this wonderful guy and we're exclusive, now I am going to go out and find myself a sex film job." She had to have done this before to even know people to offer her a contract. She kept trying to show me more of the documents saying it might make me feel better but I just couldn't handle it and I left without saying a word. Jesus, what kind of logic is that? Here honey. Look at more official documentation that I cheated on you and filmed pornography when we were together. I am sure this will make you feel better. I think you know what to do. She's a cheater, a liar, a sex worker during your relationship, and she has more to tell you that she's only willing to tell you if you agree to meet her in person? Add emotional manipulator to her resume. Fuck, man. Why do you need to hear anything more from her? I guarantee one of the things she's going to tell you is to get an STD test, because I'm afraid this is just the start of her trickle truthing. If I was you, I would never speak to her again. She'd be dead to me. Update. I found out my 24M girlfriend, 23F, cheated on me during a special weekend I had planned. This is an update from my original post which can be found here. Since this post, there's things that my family and I think she is lying about. Some as serious as attempting to harm a pet. There's just too many things that don't add up. The situation hasn't escalated further besides some petty social media posts. I've also gotten more evidence of the exact night she cheated. We were on bad terms at points but I went back and lined up dates. In November we were planning a trip out of state. The night of the cheating she said she was going out with a friend who was in a relationship. I thought nothing of it. He was apparently some short dude who was her lifetime friend. It ended up being a completely other guy but I didn't find that out until recently. They started hanging out around 6 p.m. and went back to her house. From 9:30-ish to 11:15. No response. Not gonna lie, I was stressing that night but kept reminding myself who she's with and not to worry. He left after midnight. She even told me to wait to call my Uber until he left. Earlier in that day I told her I was sad and asked if I could see her and she said yes. We were telling each other I love you, talking about the future, all of that earlier that same day. She had sex with him while I was going through it, lied and still had me come over. I'm struggling to cope. I had a therapist earlier in the year but I never talked about my relationship weirdly enough. I cannot fathom how someone can do all of this and I still try and give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to focus on the anger but I can't. I also feel like I need to be talking or texting someone 24/7. I feel like I'm burdening my support system. I had no idea this could happen to me. I would love to post an update a month from now that's more positive. You all gave me such great advice with how to move forward with the threats and all that. Does anyone have advice on how to move forward given all this? Edit. Thank you all so much. I'm still very much shattered, but there are times where I can see the way through. When I'm stressed, I can't eat, so yesterday was the first time since Saturday that I ate a full meal. I did some push-ups, worked on my art, cleaned a bunch, budgeted for myself and made a list of goals for the year. The fact that so many people are here giving me encouragement and validating my emotions means a lot. There's times where I feel like I'm in the wrong. But I come on here, remind myself of the situation, and realize I did what's best. Apparently she's spinning it to people saying she broke up with me because I went through her phone lol. I'm just steadily realizing you can't help what doesn't want help. This next couple months will be hard, but I'm confident. You should just focus on yourself. Hit the gym, do your hobby, and if it's hard to cope, get some therapy, or just talk to someone. It will get better. I think we may have dated the same shitty-ass human. I had something very similar happen to me. My advice? Never speak to her again. Delete pics, block her on every platform, and never look back. Then go to the gym, and buy a good book on the way back home. I feel like I'm burdening my support system. You're not. Unless they warned you about her repeatedly, you're not burdening them. They're called a support system for times like these. After all this, she's your ex, right? Remove her from your life. Block and remove from socials. Update me. Stop dwelling on it. Stop trying to make sense of timelines. Stop allocating brain bites to what you already know and have accepted as a lost cause. Focus that energy on yourself and doing good things in life. It will be only a short while until you're in a much better place mentally and emotionally. It's a struggle at first, but it becomes easier and easier the sooner you start. A simple analogy is having someone screaming in your ear. Don't try to stop the screaming, just walk away. The sooner you start and the further you walk, the less you hear the screaming. And before long, you don't hear it at all. This screaming is your situation with your ex, in case that wasn't obvious. Lol. Good luck to you, bud. Tell your therapist you're sad, not your girlfriend. For future reference. This basically happened to me and it took me years to recover from it, but only because I let it dwell in my mind. I kept replaying the relationship over and over, trying to uncover more of her lies, trying to decide whether or not she was genuine in certain scenarios until I finally accepted that it was pointless. Don't waste your time thinking about her because you already have seen her true side and you can't possibly still want that in your life. You didn't do anything wrong. You were a victim and unfortunately there's nothing you can do to undo it. Move on and work on bettering yourself for the next person who will be much more deserving. I rarely finish and my boyfriend doesn't care. We've been together for over 2 years, me F21, and him M23. He's amazing, but in the bedroom we've always been on slightly different pages. Pretty often sex play goes like this. I try to give him head, he might finish, if not he takes off my clothes, I get on top, he finishes, we stop. It's not super fun for me and the more it occurs the more I feel like he doesn't want me. Like yeah, he'll accept me giving him head or making him finish, but that's all the sex is. I've had a couple talks with him about this, since often he would finish and all interactions would stop. When I first brought it up to him he would finger me a little more, maybe give me head, but that lasted a couple weeks till we were back to him only worrying about him finishing and being done. Recently I started bringing a vibrator into play, which he wasn't super happy about but allowed. That helped a lot, so I could finish before him and we can continue until he finishes. But I'm annoyed because he doesn't really finger me, give me head, or do much of anything. I'm usually on top, and as soon as he finishes sex is done. Sometimes I'll try to continue with my vibrator afterwards but I feel so annoyed with him I can't get turned on again. It makes me sad because sex could be so fun and exciting if he wanted to engage more, but he just doesn't. Foreplay is always me initiating, me giving him head all the time, but I wish he did that to me too. I'm sure it feels nice to be touched out of nowhere, to be seeked out like that, but I've never felt that with him, he just never does it. If I bring it up again, I'm scared he'll awkwardly try to finger me randomly a couple times before everything is back to normal. Why doesn't he want me like that? Dr. I'm always the one to initiate sex. Fire OK is one-sided with me pleasing him, and I get on top until he finishes. I'm tired of feeling like I'm the only one wanting it, and it makes me sad that he doesn't want to touch me or make me feel good, but I don't know how to bring this up in a way to get permanent results. Update. First, I want to clarify that this is my only issue with my relationship. This man worships the ground I walk on, and I've never been treated so well. He is a very quiet person, and is awkward with confrontation. I spoke to him about all of this and emphasized that I don't want to have this conversation again. He said he didn't realize I felt this strongly about all of this, as he thought our relationship in the bedroom was great. Obviously from his perspective I could see why he thought so. He explained to me that he's shy in the sheets and really doesn't know how to take control and be what I want him to be. He asked me how he can do better and how he can be more engaged and spontaneous. I told him, and described to him, all that I could, so I am just waiting to see some results. Personally, I would stop having sex with someone I didn't enjoy having sex with. Being good in bed can mean many different things, but it pretty much always includes these two fundamental components: generosity and enthusiasm. Your boyfriend lacks both, and knows this, and doesn't care. He's a lazy and selfish lover. Personally, I don't sleep with lazy and selfish lovers more than once. You'll have to make your own decision. But whether you break up or stay together, you might consider not having sex that you know you won't enjoy. Maybe that will get the point across to him, or maybe it won't, but at least you won't be putting yourself through this awful cycle of emotions every time you fuck. Like, yeah, he'll accept me giving him head or making him finish, but that's all the sex is. I don't understand how women think this is okay. Okay, maybe I am old-fashioned or something, but if he is not pleasing you and getting you off, you need to tell him how to, or get someone who can. Just my opinion. Seeing too many posts of guys being super lame with sex. What the fuck is up, my dudes? Gotta enjoy your woman and make her feel it. I'm pretty sure the ladies will agree that if they are getting properly pleasured, they will very much be into their man. Sorry your dude isn't fulfilling your sexual needs, it's got to be frustrating. Hopefully you two can talk it out and get into a groove where you can be satisfied. Sit on his face instead of sucking his dick. Send him a PDF version of the book, She Comes First, by Ian Kerner. I once had to say, what's in it for me if I never have an orgasm? For some reason he thought that women don't always get to climax, and that's how it is. I felt bad afterwards, but I said I climaxed every time with my ex. Male here. Sex doesn't have to stop for us just because we've come. Being passionate about your lover means you want them to come. It also means getting it back up after a while, like 30 minutes or so. Your boyfriend is young, how can he not? You hit him in the face within his uselessness, and he still won't try? He feels threatened by a toy, although he is useless himself. Of course he won't use the toy on you for your enjoyment. I mean, you can always upgrade. He's amazing, really? This is what you call amazing? A selfish lover who doesn't give a tinker's damn if you're getting what you need. You need to set the bar higher.